Yeah, because you don't want to have all new board members at the same time.
Usually you do it at the first meeting in January.
First meeting, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole rotation is what I'm
Well,
saying.
there's gonna be two up, and then one up.
Okay. Every year,
Like,
or something like
the next election will be
Tim's the next,
Tim and,
which is 2 years.
you.
that. Right, Tim and I.
Yep.
And there'll be
Only 2
two,
years, yeah.
there'll be two up that year.
Don't you elect your new chair in December?
First meeting.
No, first meeting in January.
Because I know my boards at my township, I have to do them in December because they take over in January.
Yeah, well,
No, first, everything's done the first meeting in January.
but I'm gonna talk to Kim about that after we get to meet, later on in the meeting.
Sounds okay?
Because there's some questions and some things I might want you to look after.
Doesn't the
Absolutely.
board secretary run the first meeting until the?
So we're gonna be talking about that, yeah.
Yes, they do.
Oh, Kim.
Okay, we're live.
Hi there, Dwayne, how are you?
Good, you?
I'm pretty good. I'm not pretty like she is, but
Thanks,
I'm
Dick.
good.
Well, you're good. Right.
Yeah.
Are we ready, Dick?
Well, I guess we are. Let's call our meeting to order. I have to pledge allegiance to the flag, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Everybody look over the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda, you guys? You want on there? Okay, the agenda will stand as read. Approval of minutes. I don't have any questions on the minutes. I've read them twice yesterday. Any questions on the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay, the minutes will stand. Kim, it's your turn. Financial report.
Our beginning cash balance is $1,067,124.14. We have our July MTF, which includes our primary mileage transfer, for a total of $720,595.35. That's the only deposit we had so far. Then our charges. There's a couple payrolls in there that I didn't catch on the last board meeting, so they're on here, the first two.
Oh, yeah.
And then everything is very normal, HRA, accounts payable, MERS payroll. For a total of $944,852.24. Our ending cash balance is $842,867.25.
That brought those charges up a little bit with those two.
Yeah, well, you'll see in the accounts payable,
Yeah,
like it's a lot bigger than normal, like probably times 4, really.
really?
But you'll see when you look at the bills.
Okay, yeah.
And I wrote details so you can see.
Okay. So we'll go to the accounts now and look them over. Payable. I guess so. Call it smooth. Do for us, yeah. I see what you mean.
Are we putting some, mat down on there?
On Keene Road, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I see somebody's been to Ebel's Hardware. What'd you get there?
Chainsaw stuff probably,
Oh, probably.
weed whackers.
So the Reef Rally one is a big one, and the Farner one is.
Yeah,
But those are
it is a big
township participation, so once we
Bill,
bill.
bill it out, that, yeah, that's.
So is that whole thing,
We're only, like, we pay 40,000 on a paving project, and then the township picks up the rest.
Yeah.
So those numbers are, I mean, we have to pay the contractor upfront.
Then we get paid
We'll
back.
recoup,
We'll
yeah,
recoup
so.
Recoup, yeah, okay. Yeah, it just looks, yeah.
It's big now, but it's coming.
It'll all come back.
Exactly.
Some will come back, I should
They
say.
did a lot of work in the last,
Was there a wet spot actually in there?
I can tell you about it later.
Oh,
if you want.
okay, yeah, that's fine, I just, thought it
Our
was
game plan.
piques my interest and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then you made a correction here on the bottom here, Kim, this is,
Yeah, just so you know, when you guys seen, nuclear,
yeah,
was the meeting before, maybe 2 meetings before, can't recall. The
2
check
meetings
was-
before.
The check was issued for 10,000,
yeah.
and we get a governmental discount,
Mhm.
so, that was corrected for 4,500, which you can see on your, fund balance report.
Yeah,
There's a $5,500 addition in the charges, so that takes care of that check.
Okay.
okay, that explains that, thank
Yeah,
you,
mhm.
thank you. I make the motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Bill?
In
Karen?
favor?
Yes.
Public comment, you signed in, Jason?
Yes,
Okay, you can go ahead with your comments.
all right. Dwayne, can I ask, what did you guys put on Brand Avenue between Colinville and Washington Road?
We did a lime stabilization.
So you put lime on it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you put up any signs that indicated that there was lime on the roads?
There were signs that, the road was closed when the bridge was out, and they had signs. The road was closed when we actually put the lime on the road, so. But
Well, it's unfortunate, it rained like that, you know.
can't help that, so.
No, we can't help that, it rained during the night too, you know.
So I drove my brand new side-by-side through it, not knowing that lime was put on the road, and it's damaged my vehicle. And I'd like to know how the road commission is gonna take care of that damage.
In what aspect was it damaged?
When quicklime reacts with water, it becomes a hazard class 8 corrosive, and when it touches metal or aluminum, it oxidizes it instantly. So brand new engine, and all the chrome, everything metal on there has started to oxidize. It stained my plastic. I've washed it 4 times and cannot get it off of there. It's stained it. It ruined my windshield. I mean, that it doesn't even have 200 miles on it. I got it last Tuesday and drove it down Brand Avenue Friday evening. It was dark out. Came home next morning. On Saturdays and Sundays, I normally have coffee with my mom because my dad just passed away. And I drove down Brand, and when I got halfway down that project part, it looked like wet cement out there. And I was like, oh no, and went back home and instantly started washing it. I spent all day Saturday, and I still can't get it clean.
Do you have pictures of it? Do you have any?
I can bring it in and show you.
Well, I think we just go, we just have a normal damage claim procedure. So if you call our front desk, Donna will answer the phone and she can walk you through the damage claim procedure.
So you guys will take care of the damages?
I said you go through the damage claim procedure and then it goes into insurance and there's a process on that end of it, so that's how it typically works.
Do you realize how damaging lime is to vehicles? I mean, there's a farmer sitting in here right now and he can tell you what lime
Well,
can do to farm
we
equipment.
haven't had any complaints, so you're our first one, but if you go through the damage claim procedure, that would be the way to handle that.
So what you're saying is,
It's just like when we do a chip seal project and
Yeah.
somebody drives through the hot tar,
same thing.
they call and complain the same way.
It
Go
used
through
to be
damage claim
just
procedure,
windshields, you know.
Donna does the paperwork, it goes into, it turns into our insurance, and then it gets taken care of on that end.
I see, sure.
So, that's what we do.
Does that answer your question?
No, because like when I was employed here, when they hauled it with one of the brand new Peterbilts,
it did damage to that. It did damage to the stainless steel, it etched the paint, it etched the windshield, the aluminum fuel tanks, and the chrome on it. When they hauled the line with that, it was with Josh Berger's truck, and they loaded it with the brand new Cat loader, and it damaged that also. And DeLoss advised them not to use the new equipment to haul it. Kenny Pitchford, when he hauled it in here with his truck, complained that what it did to his brand new Peterbilt tractor. It's very corrosive, and the public is driving on this. There was no road. There had been a road closed sign that the bridge was out, and then they took it down, and the road was open. There was no signs on there indicating that there was line put on the road. Not only does it corrode vehicles, but the health hazards when you add water to it. And then the Amish, the horses going through there, people might say, well, they have shoes on. That protects them from stones. But the bottom of their foot is called a frog. And what that absorbs into their skin, it burns their feet. Horses can't tell you that their feet are on fire from going through that. I mean, if they had the MSDS sheets on there and you looked it up, that quick lime changes to calcium hydroxide. And it's very damaging.
Is your question a procedural question for the road commission or a concern with your vehicle or both?
A concern for my vehicle, public safety, and health.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they used that road was sand. It didn't need to be dried out. It was all sand and stone. They've used it on Rogers Road where it was all clay, where people that have brand new Tesla, that's all electric. Not to mention what lime does to electrical on a vehicle. But there is no warning put out there.
Is there an alternative?
What's your response to that? Bill, you have nothing?
Well, say we've used this before, on Monroe.
Yeah, we
Rogers.
use it.
Have we had any complaints?
No.
Is there an alternative is my question.
Well, okay.
The alternative is gravel, and we can keep dumping
Right.
hundreds of thousands of dollars for gravel on roads or we can be innovative. And I'm not even innovative. These are proven methods of construction that have been around
Right.
forever.
Yeah,
I mean, this isn't something new. I'm not inventing this, okay? I'm just utilizing it as a new tool in our toolbox
you use
to
it
make our
before.
roads better.
Right.
Now, he makes a claim that it didn't need fixing, but I went to the Sheridan Township Board, and I got an earful about that road is impassable when it rains, that people get stuck in the road.
Yeah, I know that, right.
I went and looked at it. We had the material here, it cost us nothing, it was already paid for. It
The
cost us
township board was aware of that too, weren't they, the supervisor
Yes.
and everything?
The road was closed for the bridge work.
Yes, I know
Closed
that.
from Colinville to the bridge.
Uh-huh.
So while the road was closed, we worked in that stretch of 3/4 of a mile with the road closed. We spent a day, one guy spent a day, we blended it in, mixed it, reshaped it, compacted it. We did open the road, then it rained the next day.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, yeah.
Do I have to put a sign every time we put asphalt or some kind of material on a road to let people know what we're doing? Or, I mean, it rained.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, he drove through it.
it wasn't.
He figures out a damage claim.
Okay. Sounds
If
like
you drive down the road today,
beautiful.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a method that I feel like is working.
Yeah, but you've had experience with that before, haven't you? I mean, you
Yes.
use that?
And there is an MSDS, but there's an MSDS for everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
Should I
what
breathe
science
asphalt fumes when we're paving a road, or, I mean, this is an endless thing.
Yeah,
It's not,
say. Okay.
It's no different
So
from
it's not-
grinding a road, really.
if you want an alternative, we can go back and use natural ag and keep doing what we've been doing for the last 5 years, and you'll have the same outcomes you've had for the last 5 years.
Right.
Which is garbage roads, so.
So this product, like I say, this product was something.
I mean, it's used on a, I'm not using it on every road. This road, if a road becomes impassable when it rains, we need to do something. Whether we strip all the gravel out to the base and hog in $250,000 worth of gravel to fix the road, or we can come up with this type of solution that I think makes things better. We can do it quick and cheap, and I think it's a good solution for what we're trying to achieve. We've done it, Brand, we did it on Rogers, and we did it on Monroe,
About three.
and that's
three
all we're
different
doing this year.
roads.
And it's gonna be kind of like we're gonna just monitor situations where best practices, right? So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
All right, thanks for your comments.
Well, do you have to have a permit to put that down on the roads?
Ask him, I don't know.
Are you aware of one?
I don't know, I know you have to
Well, I
have a
don't
permit
think
to
so.
put lime, or, brine or chloride on the road.
I'm sure if a permit was needed, Dwayne would certainly know about it. You know,
So you understand the process you have to go through then to fix your issue?
I have to fill out an insurance claim.
Right.
yeah,
Okay, very good.
because as far as the board is concerned, we're gonna continue to use that product, right?
I don't have, I don't have an issue. It's no different than using brine or any other thing. It's an approved product. We do have MSDS sheets on it.
But his comment about being corrosive, like the damaged our new truck and stuff, is that a true story?
It came when it's a dust,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So
Can we improve on that?
what we do, I mean, when you have a load of lime dust in
Yeah.
your truck, yes, it does cause,
Okay,
I mean, it didn't rust the truck out, but yeah, it was stuck on there, and there's certain cleaners that will clean it.
I
You
see.
can't just use soap and water.
So it cleans up.
But when we add it to the gravel, sand, clay, and the road base, we're mixing it, 6 inches deep over the course of a mile.
Yeah.
We're only using 20 yards of lime, so the ratio, lime to aggregate
Yeah.
ratio is so low, it's
Yes.
very little. The
Very
whole
little.
object of it is just to absorb some of the
Bind
moisture
it out.
so the gravel can do its job of
I see.
binding, so it's travelable.
So,
It's not like the whole road is full of
No.
lime, like it's gonna burn your skin. It's like you can't,
okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's-
Isn't this fines off a crusher?
It's a natural product.
Right,
It's-
that's what I mean.
If you drive down a limestone road and it's
Yes.
slurry on your car,
That's
it's
the
the
same
exact
thing.
same thing.
That's why I was going.
It's just the powder of the lime. It's a natural product that they mine. That's it.
mhm.
It's nothing more than that.
Okay, because it makes it, Jason made it sound like it's really, bad stuff. But it's been proven,
Anybody
it's been
can do-
around
Anybody
for,
can do that,
it's been around
so.
for quite a few years, has it? It's been around?
Probably longer than you, Dick.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like
Look down, Tina.
pyramid time.
Older than dirt.
Well, the thing is, thank you.
Dick probably rode dinosaurs to school.
Boy, now you're.
Holy Christ,
You're in the hot seat.
I'm old, but I'm not.
I know.
That Egyptian.
I know. But anyway, I appreciate that, okay.
Dick, you and I probably remember the old red, white, and blue school buses.
Oh, hell yes, I remember the red, white, and blue school buses, and I remember picking up the telephone and saying, the operator would say, number please. Yeah. I'd say 184, 3 numbers. Oh yeah, I can remember all that stuff. I guess that comes with age. You guys will get there one day. Anyway, let's move on. Jason, are you satisfied with our answers?
I guess I'll have to be.
We're gonna see what the insurance does, like, we'll turn that claim in. You'll be, should Jason talk to Donna or you?
Yes.
Okay,
Jason will.
He already has the form, and he just turns it in.
Okay.
From Donna to him, then he just turns that form in.
I think any of us would be upset if we
Oh,
bought
yeah.
a brand new UTV and this damage was caused. That's for sure. We certainly sympathize with what you're going through. Unfortunately,
Well, I mean,
it's a
that would be bad,
process.
Brandon.
But the limestone on a road is different than lime on a field. It's a different chemical process to produce them. So it does change the
Right.
chemical compounds of that.
Yeah,
So it turns it into a different element.
okay. Good.
It's not just the same as limestone on a road.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
but-
the Amish haven't brought this to the forefront before you did. I mean, if there's been a problem with the horse foot.
It just happened last Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday when
Right.
it rained.
Right,
I mean, it looks like you just spread cement down the road.
gotcha.
But the thing
Just on a
is,
side note, I was on Brand Road by Packard Farm yesterday, and
Yeah.
an Amish gentleman came up to me and asked what we did on Brand Road because he was so impressed, and he said it's the best that
Is
the
that
road's
right?
ever been, and he wanted to know the product we use because he was interested in
Mhm.
maybe getting some or having us do more of it in the future. Side note.
You be the manager for.
well, that's good, that's good. So anyway, let's go with the process and hopefully that'll work out. If we have a problems, just bring it to our attention, right, Dwayne? You know,
Maybe-
keep the board
Maybe in the
informed.
future, we can put some signage up too, just to let people know that there is a concern. I mean, I don't know how in-depth we wanna get with that, but it certainly wouldn't take a whole lot of effort to avoid a claim, possibly.
Yeah, that's a
So
good thought,
That
that's a
would be
good
my
thought.
recommendation, and I appreciate your input.
Thank you.
Sorry for the problem.
Yep.
So
I think
anyway,
that's too.
thanks,
Yep.
thanks for coming in.
Yep.
We'll take the next one now.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Yep.
Public comment,
I'm here to say thank you.
pardon me?
Dave Wright. I'm here to say thank you. I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure the last couple of months of working with Dwayne and the Foremans and Dave Bondi. I've had good response.
You're happy?
Dwayne knows for some time I've been having the issue with out there on Hoover Avenue with the drain.
Oh,
It was fixed almost immediately after I got talking with Brian Kuhn, and I'll tell you what, they did a fantastic job. I'm very
Good.
pleased with it. I'm very pleased with what they did with the Springwood project. It's really looking nice.
is it, is it?
I've had a lot of comments onto it. In fact, I had a gentleman call me the other day and wanted to know how I could get a hold of Brian. I gave him Brian's telephone number, and he texted me back yesterday and he says, you know what?
Yeah,
We've got one of the best foremans we've had on the north end of the county in a long time.
no kidding, huh?
So
Good.
that's a good thing. And
Well, that is a good thing,
yes,
yeah. So,
I've had nothing but good positive feedback.
good.
I know we're gonna have another project coming up eventually on Stockwell, and we're working with you on that onto it too.
But you know, Dave, over the years, I've known you a long time. I'm old, remember?
That's been established.
Don't go that far, Dwayne.
No, but over the years, that's good news coming from you, because you used to have quite a few complaints, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
in your township, you know.
my heart and soul was with the road commission for 32 years.
Well, yeah,
And I gotta tell you this one little story. We did the project up there on Muskegon Road, on the intersection of Muskegon and Harding, is it?
Muskegon and Harding, I believe. Yep.
And I was doing the project, and my loader operator at that time was sending me down a bunch of gravel that was been in a stockpile for a number of years, and it was sour.
Oh,
And you can tell it when it's sour because it smells just like pig crap. And we put it in there, and we put in way more than what we needed in there, in my opinion.
back in the day, buddy.
And for 2 weeks, I was going back every other day, rolling that over to get it to dry out. And it would not dry out. And at that time, they brought the milling machine in to mill up Old State in Muskegon. So I got talking with the milling machine man, and I says, how how far will this go down? He says, 22 inches. Why? I says,
Oh,
we
yeah?
got a project that we're gonna do. And I talked to my foreman, and he says, no, that ain't gonna work. And I says, oh, yes, it will work. He said, well, we're not gonna do that. Well,
Who was your
lo and be-
foreman at that time?
I don't wanna say. He was a good foreman.
It doesn't matter, I know him all.
So we got up there, and I told the foreman, the milling machine man, I says, when you go through that intersection, I want you to go all the way through it and make passes onto it. Well, when he went through it that first time, that thing blew up about 8 inches higher than what it was before. And it just rolled it over. And he sent her down as far as she'd go down. I never had to go back up and level that road out afterwards. You just have to turn them over. And I thought, just about the time I got done with it, or we got done with it, the foreman pulled it, and he never said a word to me. But it was one of those days that
That's
it
a
was
true
just,
story, yeah.
it was a good story, you know,
Yeah.
and I got a lot of good memories out of this place.
Yeah, oh, sure you do.
You know, we were allowed as blade truck operators and grader operators that if somebody come up and asked you if you could do something here to make something a little bit better, you did it. And we never got any flack from the foremen. And I'll tell you what, I worked with some good foremen, I worked with some
Well,
not so
sure.
good
Oh,
foremen.
yeah.
But, you know, working at the road commission's not like working in construction. You got different
Oh, yeah,
different
absolutely.
elements out there.
Absolutely.
over the place.
Yeah.
It's not an easy game, guys, let me tell you. Bill knows.
People skills are number one, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the people working here, you know, the guys on the road, they see these people every day, and that's where communication really makes a big difference.
Good.
Thank you, Dave, for your comments.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Yeah. Okay, Dave, you have anything for us?
Nothing. I did a little ride along with Dwayne and appreciate the time he was able to spend. And
That went pretty good?
Yep, and impressed with everything you're doing.
Good. Okay.
I don't have nothing.
You don't? No. Well, by golly.
Speechless for one.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're here because it's going to be helpful for you to get a feel of things before the first of the year. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
You know, that's a good thing that these two are coming here to see what's going on before
Well,
they get
yes,
started.
absolutely.
I don't want to just walk in here.
You got a good opportunity to get a feel of things. Yeah.
I liked the online, but the opportunity to sit with such a legend.
It is, yeah.
You know, Dick back then.
He's a collector's item.
Exactly.
You're a legend, all right. Okay, let's move on to number one.
I'm getting you a t-shirt made that says
Legend of Clare County.
Yep.
And put a dinosaur on it.
Old business?
Huh?
We're on old business?
Yeah, we're on old continuing business now. Number one, bridge report, Moss Cutler,
Carrying on,
ongoing.
ongoing.
Yeah, okay, so that's it. Project updates. Do you have project updates?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Is there
Um,
anything that's special that we should know?
limestone was placed, is done for Freeman Township, the
Oh,
Lake of the
that's-
Pines subdivision,
You got in there already then, huh? That's done?
that's done.
Good.
Um,
Okay.
I think they have a little bit of maybe cleanup stuff to do, and we're gonna talk to Al Hausler and get his approval, and then we'll be able to build that one and close it out.
Getting along pretty good with Al? Everything's pretty
Yes.
good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ridge Road's getting gravel. They started this week on Ridge and Ball,
How far? How much of Ridge Road
a
though?
mile and a half.
Mile and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's needed, isn't it?
Yeah, so we've had that one kinda ready. So the gravel, that will be all gravelled,
Good.
hopefully by today or tomorrow. And then we'll have a little bit of work to do on it. We're doing some drainage repair and paving, but we're waiting for some material to come in, hopefully next week, so,
So that's coming along good for us then, huh?
yes. Clarence Road in Greenwood.
Yeah,
Stumped and ditched. We have gravel scheduled for the week of September 28th for gravel in that one.
when is it?
September 28th.
9/28, okay,
And,
gravel,
and we have Keene Road staked. We should be starting to fill on that one soon because that one needs to be ready for gravel on the same day,
huh? Oh, yeah.
September 28th. So that's where we're at with those two. Brand Road between Dover and Adams yesterday. We did a stabilization as we agreed to with Sheridan Township. We completed that mile yesterday.
Did you?
And then the south mile we're gonna work on next week, and then hopefully we'll have that project closed out for Sheridan Township.
That's quite a little project, isn't it?
You should,
I mean, the clay and what have you there.
it went, started rough, because it was a new procedure for us, but by the end of the day, I think we did awesome, so.
Yeah,
Packards were great to work with, they coordinated,
were they?
they shut down operation, or deliveries and stuff for us yesterday, we had that whole mile, we had
Oh, good.
a lot going on yesterday, it was a
Oh,
long
is that
day,
right?
but.
I mean, they shut down their operations for?
Oh.
They didn't shut down, but they stopped deliveries and
Right, they
stuff.
stopped delivery.
Stop
But,
deliveries.
I mean, they hand
Yeah,
in hand worked with us, it,
but they give you a good hand, that way they wasn't
yeah,
running their delivery trucks down or anything.
yeah. yeah.
That's good. Mhm.
We're still working on Adams, we got the west mile ready for gravel.
Adams Road, yeah. Mhm.
That's in Hatton and Grant Township Partnership. We're
Yeah.
working on the east mile, we're doing some ditch clean out, we got the cross culverts in, so hopefully we'll have that one ready for gravel in the next week or two.
You work on just, is it a mile
2 miles.
or it's 2 miles?
Yeah, Hubsher's scheduled for gravel, I believe next week or the week after, for gravel starting on Adams.
Starting, okay.
Yep.
Well, you're coming along pretty good with the
Mhm.
project.
Trees are cut on Willow, we'll probably hopefully get that stumped in the next week or two for Grant Township project. Ashford and Athey, we gotta talk to our tree guy, but once that's treed, we'll get that stumped. We have that scheduled for gravel the week of October 19th, I believe, for Ashford and Athey in Arthur Township.
You're coming right along then, huh?
Yep.
19th.
I think it's October 19th, I believe, we
Okay.
told them. That's
It's
what
been a
Fisher.
it's been a busy summer for you. It's good.
What did we
Like
close
catch-up
out,
work.
Kim? We closed
Yeah.
out,
Yeah,
On those projects, but sounds like.
got a pile of catch-up work.
Mhm.
I can't, that was the last board meeting, can't remember.
we closed out, with Dave and Hamilton Township.
We closed
Closed
out
out Meredith Grade and Franklin,
Bass Lake Road,
closed out Bass Lake,
That's
we
done now.
closed
Greenwood
out,
Lake subdivision.
Long Lake is done in Summerfield. Waiting on Dan's final approval, but we should be able to close that one out. I think Dan's gonna be happy with that one. Yeah, so,
And then as many as I can get closed out at 9:30. When we'll bill next, we talked about.
farmer, all the chip seals are done. State and local paving is almost done. Al's paving in,
Who's
Hayes
who?
Township. Reeve Riley's paving in Hayes Township
Oh,
today.
okay, Hayes Township, yeah.
Yep. So we're nearing the end of paving projects as well.
How far are they going in Hayes on the road paving?
Al was telling me, I didn't,
Yeah.
with everything going on, I trust
Okay.
Al has done. Him and Terry have been communicating.
Okay, because
I know they were gonna do one road, but they kinda switched it, and I think they're doing like some other locations that they agreed on.
so you're happy with it?
Where they're at, I don't,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't know.
Well, no, but you got
I
Al
trust
there.
they know what they're doing, so.
That's what Al's for. And that's-
Right.
yeah, that's good.
But that should be done. Our paving contract project should be done. Hope maybe this week. So Cedar Road, the Bridget, that's out. Sounds like that.
Cedar Road, yeah.
Yeah, the culvert's washed out.
Behind River Valley.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So DEQ wants like a 28-foot culvert put back in there, which is gonna add to our bridging. It's gonna be classified as a bridge when we're done.
Yeah,
The permit sounds like it went to the next step of public notice, so it should be a go. I think that's just a step in the process of. So Al's gonna get requests for quotes out, and hopefully we'll get that. Hopefully by next board meeting we'll have a price, low bidder, and then we can start the fabrication process, shop drawings and fabrication, and hopefully be able to put that in this fall still.
you think so?
I
mean, you're
That's
shooting.
my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have shut down.
Huge culvert.
Lake Station Road south of 115, we're replacing a culvert there. The culvert should be getting delivered here soon, so that's another project we're gonna take on. But that DQ permit's been done, we have the culvert's been ordered.
And what
so,
size culvert would that be?
I think it was a 4-footer or 5-footer. Pretty big one.
And that's, south of 115?
Yeah.
Headed towards the lake.
Didn't we put, where did we put that
We
big?
did north of.
Oh, we did
115
north of
before.
it, didn't
It's
we?
very similar. It's an
Okay.
old 4-foot wood box structure
Okay, so
that
that's the
the
one I
joints
was
are coming
thinking.
apart, and
Between Adams and 115.
there's about this much coal patch in the bottom of the box
Yeah.
culvert where it shouldn't be.
That's
And it
nice.
just keeps falling through. So.
Yeah.
And then Brand Road by Packard's, we just submitted our Eagle application to replace that box culvert with a 12-foot.
Well, that'd be about time on that one, yeah.
So hopefully we should have that one done this fall as well. We still plan on doing Maple Grove repair on the pavement that where it's failing. We have a plan there. We ordered some
Well,
materials.
we've had trouble with that maple growth for a long time there.
We have
What's causing it? What's causing that?
It looks like the slope is sliding toward the ditch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go take 250 feet of that and cut that bank. We're not gonna disturb the ditch. We're gonna halfway between the road slope and the ditch front slope.
You're gonna level that off, like?
We're gonna go all the way down about 6 foot undercut.
I see.
And we're gonna build a stabilized wall up
Oh, yeah.
that will hold the road bank from keep sliding toward the ditch.
Well, that's quite a
And then
job.
We'll cut
Quite
that
a
whole
job.
lane out, down to clay grade, new sand subbase, gravel, and then Reeve Riley should be able to pave that in this fall for us.
Well, good.
So that's the game plan.
That's the game plan, to have it done yet this fall.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you've had
It's
a
gonna
lot
start
of-
to get into a weather game, so some things are gonna start shifting around. Projects are
We
gonna
don't-
just kinda get ordered based on what the weather
Everything is
allows
up
us
to
to
Mother
do.
Nature, I
So
know it, right.
that's where it gets fun.
You can, you can have all the plans set and ready to go, and then you don't know what's the
Right.
weather's gonna do, I know
And
that.
Vandekar Bridge is getting let the first Friday of October in Farwell.
It's been a long
I
time.
left that open for construction start this fall.
2 years.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's still a go, so.
It's a go. Yeah,
It's gonna get let in October. If the contractor wants to start this fall, I'm gonna allow that.
yeah,
So, I don't know who, depends on who gets it and what they wanna do.
yeah, it's just dependable right now, yeah. But that's good, because that's been what, 3-4 years now coming?
Apparently, yeah.
Has it
Oh,
been?
yeah.
4 years, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And, okay, yeah, I can talk later, I guess. That's a project though.
Okay, well,
Sounds good.
building improvement project, that project updates, that's good. Okay. Now, and on number 3, the improvements on the building
Yeah,
is
that
tabled.
That was
Table's
tabled.
tabled, yeah.
And that's good, because Yeah, you know, that person that was here at the
Yeah.
company, I really didn't care for him for the simple reason, I mean, we don't, he went on for about 45 minutes
No, I know.
about
I know.
Gaylord, or not Gaylord, but company. Anyway, so I'm sure you'll see to it that we get done what we need done,
Yeah, that was,
and we don't wanna, yeah,
I don't want you to think
no, I don't think
we're
that.
thinking grandeur.
Yeah.
My opinion, he's a educated professional, and I think he's good at what he does.
Oh, I do too, I'm not
So,
saying he isn't.
I
no.
think it was more of a, he wasn't portraying necessarily what
No, but-
I had envisioned, but I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than what I envisioned too, you know, as far
Yeah.
as, so, don't get a wrong impression, and
No, he put
tabling
on-
that is a good idea.
Yeah.
He put on, it was good, and he took a lot of time with it, but,
Right.
and I didn't wanna shut him down, but
Right, no, I get it.
I heard enough, we all heard enough.
Right.
Good
What we
salesperson.
wanna do is our plan, yeah, you're gonna,
Well, there's something to look at. I mean, if we
Yeah.
don't do it, it's not the end of the world. It
Oh,
was
no.
just something.
but
It's not a
I
big
think
deal.
we need a wash bay, and we do need some improvements, but let's keep it, which you will, keep it.
And what I think is interest rates are so low, like, should we take advantage of that if we can make that happen and make some improvements? Or not? It's just an idea, and
There
it
was
doesn't
a,
have to
there was
be.
a thing in the Cleaver, the school can get money for 0.75.
Really?
Yes, under
Wow.
1%.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's pretty cheap.
Hmm.
So anyway, that's coming in the coming year anyway, so I know that you'll take care of it.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's
Mhm.
move on to number 4. 401A plan.
Yes, and did Donnie give you, I gotta get that from Donnie.
We're still on that now. Okay.
That's for the new hire.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the new hires, yeah.
Yeah, they had a thing in the paper, it was from 0.75 to 0.150 was their rate. And I think, holy cow.
What was that for, like,
I think improvements.
just for the schools, or
Yeah, I
like
don't know if it just pertains to
countywide,
schools or
or
not.
states, or?
But it gives us time to look into that kind of
Mhm.
stuff to, you know, there's grants, USDA money out
Yes,
there, there's all
oh.
kinds of stuff out there.
That was the grant, was the USDA.
Was it USDA money?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, Kim, you know.
That's what he said, it was all USDA,
Yeah.
and the rates are so low, and who knows what's
Do we
gonna
know the
happen.
percentage rate? What did he give us? I don't think he gave us a
He did.
percentage, did
He
he?
did when we were talking, when Dwayne and I were talking.
Oh, okay.
Because I said, look, like I said, what if you just did worst case scenario?
Yeah,
And, you know, like I feel like he can give us little or he can give us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, what if it's a lot? And he gave us the percentage, but he probably has it written down somewhere, but
Do
I
you remember
don't.
the percentage, Dwayne,
What?
for the interest rate that you gave?
I know it was low.
Yeah, I thought it was like 1.35 or
Really?
something
It was
like
very
that.
low.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's things.
That's what just triggered my
Right.
thought process.
Well, you know, the only thing is if you open the can of worms, you gotta jump through all their hoops of,
I know.
you know, if you start remodeling, you gotta do this.
Right.
yeah,
It
Right.
just-
Right.
So if we
Yeah.
could just do what we want, that'd be great.
that's
you know.
fine.
And I believe that he did say
Yeah.
that.
He did.
Yeah, maybe we make it a separate, I don't
Right.
know, I don't know.
He said there was
Freestanding, right.
endless.
But anyway, it'll work out,
possibilities.
it'll work
Yeah.
out, as long as you get what we want, and not any more than that, yeah.
But if those interest rates are that low, it's something we need to really
Mm.
consider right away, because we don't wanna lose that too,
I-
so.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that, okay, let's move on.
Can we go skip to number 5? Don is making some copies of something for us. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, number 5, yep. That'd be fine.
I didn't
Auto,
look at this
video.
yet. I can get a microphone. I heard few people said the volume is
It is hard to
bad,
hear.
so.
The volume is.
And it only
yeah.
comes up in a small portion of your screen too, versus, and maybe.
The video does?
Yeah, maybe that's a setting I'm not familiar with, but,
I
yeah.
thought I fixed
Well, I think that's YouTube anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
They only
YouTube.
get shows up the top part of your phone.
I haven't even looked. I'll look
Yeah,
at
I've
it.
seen
Double
it.
check it,
Couple
I could be
times.
wrong.
I
but-
will say the audio is,
Yes.
when I'm listening to do minutes, I like have to replay something
Yeah.
10 times a little but you know, we're all muffled too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't help.
you know?
Okay, we're waiting for Donna yet, so, what do you wanna do? Do you wanna go, just
Keep moving.
We can move
keep
forward.
moving into new business?
Yeah, we can come back to it.
Okay, we'll do that. Number one, MDOT form,
Yep, so.
2067.
Yep, so what this is a form that we have to fill out annually for PA 152 compliance, which is basically regarding health insurance. I'm not sure if we remember, so long ago, when you either chose to stay under the cap for medical insurance,
Yeah,
or you chose to do 80/20, and our choice back then was to stay under cap,
yeah,
and we are still under cap, if you can believe it. I know our insurance people can't believe it.
well, I believe it.
I don't know how we're doing it, but it's really great for our employees. So I
Good take.
hope we can keep that the way we want it, and
Sorry, Dana.
it's a great benefit for our employees. So it's just certifying that we're under cap and we're following the law. And then Dick, as chair, you'll have to sign the form.
Need one?
Sure.
Dave? Dave?
I could've got out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This goes around.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
Action shot.
I can get one from Donna later.
If you got one, I'll take one.
So anyways, Dick, you'll have to sign as chair for the
Yeah.
form. And
Yes,
then I have to post it on, our transparency page,
okay,
on the internet. So we got it under control.
you got the paper
I
later.
do. I have it right here.
Okay, I'll sign that later.
Yep.
That's good.
Are the employees happy with this?
We don't have any under it yet.
Oh, this is for new.
For the
This
new
is for
one.
new
No,
ones.
those are for new
None of
employees.
the new ones, the most recent ones are under this program.
Not
No,
yet.
not until we have new
New,
employees.
okay.
Yeah.
The new
Effective.
ones.
So the goal
Effective as
is,
soon as this is adopted, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's right, after that, yeah.
Gotcha.
once this is adopted, this will take effect for all new hires from
Any-
that
any new
point forward.
hires.
Okay.
Now, on page 1 of 6, I did check, where employees will have a one-time opportunity to convert.
Yeah,
So if we do have any current employees and they elect to convert to this
they can,
retirement
they'll be
plan,
able
they
to do
can.
that.
I have a question about that. I talked to Debbie Rochester about that, and she says if you do that, that automatically vests them.
What's that, Bill?
Best them?
Vests them. Talk to her about that. I asked that question because somebody brought that up to me, and so I called that lady and asked her after that meeting we had, and I said, what about if a current employee wants to convert? And she says, they can, but it's not a good idea because that, if they're already here, that automatically vests their pension.
Of
Oh,
what they're here
yeah.
for, as many
I
years
think
as
the
they
idea is one of a new hire that's been here like a year,
Yeah,
they want to,
That's what I asked about. It automatically vests their pension by switching to that. So
It
you better ask that
invests
question.
their years that they've already been here.
Well, that's not what she said.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be 10 years.
Right.
It's automatically
It
in doing
vests
it.
the year they had.
Yes.
yes,
So,
correct.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Yes, not
So-
automatically 10-year
So-
vested,
But
no.
if they've been here 5 years, it vests that 5 years they had.
Right.
Of what
Yeah.
is in the plan.
Yeah,
What
make sure of
they
that
contribute.
because
Yes,
she
it's
told me
not-
that and I'm thinking, that don't sound right, but, something to ask about.
Yeah,
Right.
we can, yeah.
okay, but that makes sense, yeah.
Were you gonna ask something down?
I was just gonna make a statement.
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
So, what's
Sorry,
important
Dave.
to remember is that, I'm assuming, this is an assumption, any employee who would want to switch would be the employees that are at a C1.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Okay.
if that did vest them, that really is a positive for our employees, and it's not a large pot of money.
Correct.
And honestly, that's a good thing for employees.
Is
When
it-
did we start the C1? How many years has that been?
2013.
Okay.
I was gonna say 14, so those,
Yeah.
yeah, and so It's
That
just,
long ago?
Mhm. And that takes liability out of our MERS old plan and would move it into here. So
Not all
I
bad.
think it's a
huh?
good, personally, I think it's a good option, but that's just a personal opinion.
I just wanted to bring it up to make sure it got checked, because she mentioned that to me, so.
Well, that's good information, because I didn't understand what you.
Why are we changing this? I guess that's,
Go, let me, go to the, where's the back?
Back page,
okay?
I think it's
You're
back
you're
page.
gonna see this, graph.
Yep, yep,
So this is our trending expenditures
okay,
with defined benefit,
okay.
and then this will, where will take us with defined contribution.
Did you not get one?
And then we'll have the last page.
You don't have the last page?
Maybe I just ain't
To
telling you
keep,
to
to
get
keep
it
our defined benefit plan funded, it's very expensive.
I have it, but I use
I
it.
use
When we go to a
No,
defined
it's-
contribution,
Oh,
it's gonna,
help us.
it defines what the road commission is gonna annually have to pay, because we know we're paying a certain percentage of wages. Where defined benefit has been, it's,
Kind of going up.
Right.
it keeps going up, and it's, you don't really
Much
know
easier to
why,
budget.
and it's, yeah, you can't. it's
So
hard to
this
budget.
gives us a better picture of it, what's happening, right, Dwayne?
And for
You
budget
know, so-
reasons.
Yeah,
We've made the right changes, just so everybody's aware. I mean, like, so we've had defined benefit for, I don't know how many years, a very, very long time. But as we went, changes were made oh so long ago that back then, you didn't realize what was gonna happen maybe today. And then
Right.
you have markets that tank.
Okay.
And then, so what has happened through the future, when we realize what is coming, so then we've made changes from B4, which is a multiplier, to B2, and then from B2 to C1. And when you make those changes, it's a good change for the road commission, but at some point, you have to decide, when can we not afford a defined benefit anymore? And it's really that time.
Okay.
Well, we're not far from that, right?
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, it's time. Yes, sir.
Page 4,
Page 4,
item C.
you're skipping way ahead.
Sorry,
I got him off track, I'm sorry.
I can wait. Go ahead. I'll wait till you get there. Go ahead.
we're on page 4 now. Item what, C?
He's the guy that needs to know how the book ends.
I've already gotten there. I just
Go ahead.
wondering why you put 2, but then you marked the box below.
Yeah, we'll get.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so on page 2,
Page 2 again? Okay,
we're on to page 2.
okay.
So I checked probationary period, and I will do 0 months probationary period for this plan to start. Now that doesn't affect their normal employment probationary period
Oh,
of 1 year, and it doesn't affect their 3-month probationary period for
Health
health benefits.
okay, so
I
that
didn't
stays
think,
the same.
because with the reason I chose 0 months probation, if you
Yeah.
go to page 3, this ties in.
Go to page 3, all
Yeah.
right.
So the vesting,
Yeah,
so they won't be vested on their 1-year anniversary hiring date. They will be 20% vested into this program
after a year.
at the 1 year.
After
So
1 year, so-
any contribution that the road commission has made
Mm-hmm,
within that year,
mm-hmm,
20% of that contribution made by the employer, us,
yeah,
would become the employee's money at that point. So if they don't make it to their 1-year
yeah,
anniversary
yeah,
under normal probation, then they aren't vested into that 401k money anyways.
okay,
So I don't think it's fair for an employee to work here a year and not be able to start contributing to their retirement. Every year you lose is a lot of money. So
exactly,
I
right.
didn't think that was fair.
Well, you thought right, that's great, I don't either.
So now that we're on page 3, we got the 5-year vesting plan.
Yeah,
So it'll be on their 5th anniversary of employment date. Then all contributions made by the road commission would be owned by the employee at that point.
I see, that's up to 100% there,
Right,
after 5 years,
correct.
yeah.
So if someone works here 3 years and they quit to go work at another job,
Yeah,
60% of what the county has given them
yeah,
is theirs, but we get 40% of it back.
oh, okay, we do,
Yes.
all right,
So anytime in that first 5 years, if an employee
yeah.
chooses to quit or is
And that-
let go, we would recoup a percentage of the money we put into their
That's
account.
good, yeah,
Okay.
okay, it's understandable now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to
Um,
explain because it can be a little confusing, you know.
So the vesting credit, we're gonna do it on a monthly basis, so 12 months of the year. So it would just be their higher end date would be their anniversary.
Well, yeah.
Their-
From their
Correct.
anniversary
Yeah,
date.
we're not going by hours or whatever, it's just monthly
Okay, you're going by,
basis. Calendar year.
yeah, calendar, All right,
Contributions will be bi-weekly, so same as our paychecks.
yeah, mhm.
The direct required employee contribution, she just had us highlight that, so that's gonna tie into page 4.
Which will be pre-tax, that's what she's
Correct.
highlighting. Yep.
Page 4, yeah. Contributions,
Dave, you paying attention?
I am.
Alright.
everybody getting that now?
Alright, so, non-matching contributions.
Yeah,
So, this will be,
2%,
when an employee hires in, as the employer, the county will give the employee 2% of their wage automatically.
okay, automatic,
So whether the employee puts any money in it themselves or not,
this
we are gonna give them 2% to start building their
start the-
retirement,
building it.
okay?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah, yeah.
So then matching contributions, and this goes to our, she called it an addendum, which is the letter I had written to MERS.
Yeah.
So if an employee contributes their own money, the first 4% that they contribute, I will match on top of the 2% we're already giving them.
Okay, because you're matching what they contribute.
Correct. So if an so it's kind of an incentive for an employee. So if they put in 4% of their own money, I'm gonna give them another 4% plus 2% that I already was giving them for a total of 10%.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Anything beyond that is all their own money,
Yeah, anything beyond that.
okay?
They have, yeah.
But what would be coming out of our budget is 6.
6, correct,
6%,
correct,
yeah, from the road commission budget, yeah.
correct.
Mhm, yeah. Okay,
So we will at no point ever contribute more than 6%,
no,
but the minimum we'll contribute is 2.
the minimum's two, no more than 6.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, okay. Mhm.
Make sense, Dave?
That makes sense.
So I did these forms for many, many years for the state of Michigan and GM. I just think you need to verify this. You have this checked wrong. The boxes need to be checked.
Something should be checked.
You need to have, yeah, and I think the second matching shouldn't be checked. I think you should have the top 2 or 3 checked. So just find out how they want those.
I put a call in to Sonia, because it actually confused, see, I was kind of started to fill this part out, but
Mhm.
then me and Donna talked about it and we thought the non-matching, if we check the box of, oh, she wrote the 2 in the wrong box. It'd be the next box down, the 2%. to be the 2% of compensation per employee for each payroll period.
And it should have that
Per
top box
employee.
checked. The
Right.
non-matching contributions.
Right.
Okay, okay, yep. But then we also check the matching one,
For the 4%?
which goes to my addendum of the
Yep.
4%, up to 4%.
Yep, and I'll tell you, that's what the state of Michigan does, that's the exact formula the state does.
Mhm.
Well, for the legislature anyhow. But your vesting is incredibly high. That's really nice for your employees. That's giving them 20% early and that lucrative of a vesting is really nice.
Okay.
And it is, it's a little bit lower than the C1. I think the C1 was, what did we talk about? 7? It ends up equaling to 7% something. So it really will be a little bit less, but the vesting will be a little bit better.
Mhm.
So
So if those C1s
the C1,
wanna switch,
Mhm.
they
they
can.
can.
Mhm.
So that's their choice then.
Are you gonna like have a meeting with them after this is adopted or let them know? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bill, I got your last page. All right, Donna gave me one, so the mystery is solved.
Okay, now, where are we going?
So compensation is just simply, all income. So it's your gross income on your W-2 form.
Yeah,
That's how you know the percentage of money.
Mm,
An employee knows whatever,
what they're paid, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's just saying it goes up. We're not getting into other
Does this
technical
include
details.
No.
the commissioners or was all that dropped? Was everything dropped? Okay.
So I
All
read,
benefits were dropped.
I read in the newspaper.
All right.
So Tracy emailed Donna, but it was a little confusing, there wasn't a lot of detail. But I did read in the newspaper that effective, I think it's January, all commissioner wages, I guess I should talk both,
Yeah.
all commissioner wages will be brought up to the county commissioner's wages, but there is no health benefits.
No bill-
So
no-
this, that's what I'm asking for this. Will this be adopted for the new commissioners? Because we have MERS after so many months.
Yeah,
So
So
we
they
don't
will be
know
on
with
the-
them,
It would be what's.
up to the
it-
county.
I imagine so.
All that was said is health benefits will be dropped.
Health benefits, yeah.
Okay.
This isn't health.
No,
But their pay scale will go up, so.
Their pay scale will be even
with the
With
with
county.
the county.
County
Okay.
commission.
Currently, what happens is, it's like 7,000 something, I believe,
Yeah.
or 2,000 something if you choose our health insurance.
Which that's no longer available.
But that will, effective January, be no longer available.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, that's understandable.
Did that answer the question though?
No, but it's probably
Reach
soon
out
to
to
come.
Tracy.
Pardon
I'm
me?
just curious if that's how it's gonna work.
Can you just see me, Mark?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll drop it.
So page 5,
Page 5.
at the top, loans, I checked that they shall be permitted. So, is what happens in that is an employee can borrow money from their 401
Yeah, sure.
plan that they have vested, the vested amount of money, you know, either their own money or whatever.
Or
the
whatever
percent's
they,
vested.
yeah.
So they can borrow against that at a interest rate that they basically pay back to themselves.
I see,
So MERS would that would basically be out of our,
I see.
it's just an option in the program.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to have that in there.
Excuse me for a minute, my coffee break calls.
And that's, I think, the gist of it. In the last 2 pages, Sonia had sent, based on our 6%, funding the program at the 6%. it kind of shows an idea of the incline that we're going with the defined benefit, and then how it looks once the defined contribution really starts to kick in for our funding. Oh, gotcha.
It would be nice, like, if any current employees see the new benefit, to do a, valuation, to have a valuation done, and just see
They would do that.
in a year or so, maybe how it affected us, and see if that brings our liability down, or just a thought.
And Donna did get some information from Edward Jones,
Yes.
and I think the fees and everything, I think MERS would be just the way we wanna go.
Just, Edward Jones needed our assets over $100,000, and for 100% participation with all the employees. It wasn't, because we don't have any employees right now to start the plan, and the cost would have been a little bit more.
And even if every employee was on the plan, I don't even know if it would be
Yeah.
100,000. That's quite a bit.
Hmm.
I don't, 10% of average wage times 40 employees, I don't know if that equals $100,000.
Should,
Hmm?
should. Do you need this act done today?
Well, either we can
Got a correction to make.
make the correction and type this up final. And I don't know how you guys wanna do it. I know
Why
it's
don't you
kind of
do
a
that?
rough,
Get it,
Get it for the next meeting, or?
yeah.
Yeah, make the correction,
It's too important.
Yeah, that's what I was, we wanna make sure it's done right.
Yeah.
absolutely.
yep.
Yeah, then we can,
Put it on
let's just have to sign it.
But so is there any comments or I mean, is there anything that anybody has something that they would disagree on, or is it pretty, any other ideas?
Well, I
Since we're
myself,
open at the table, and then we can finalize this document for next board meeting, approve it, and then
yeah,
I can move on with what I wanna do.
Yes.
yeah, I don't have any,
I understand where we're going and what's about and why we gotta do it. I talked to several of the employees about how they felt about this, the older ones and newer ones both, and they all had the same opinion, that it, their biggest question was, that's why I called Debbie Rochester. Why, or, how would it affect the defined contribution plan? And I found out, I said it won't, as long as there's somebody drawing on that plan, the road commission has that commitment. So it will
Yeah.
not affect their, they were worried about the
About
fund,
their-
Oh, the funding.
Oh.
the funding going down in that defined contribution plan. Well, we're still responsible for that money no matter what.
You
that's
mean the
right.
defined benefit plan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
excuse me,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the defined benefit plan.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
No.
no changes.
Right.
There's no changes.
But that was a concern, so I found out
Right.
and made sure that I had it straight. And then she told me about the vesting thing, to make sure that, you're aware that that automatically vests that time they have.
We can get some information if someone wants to switch,
Crossover, yeah.
what
Yeah.
it would look like.
You might have that for your presentation to them.
Yeah, that definitely,
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, we just gotta keep them, just like how the plan has changed in the previous years.
Mhm.
Their plan is safe,
Right.
it's just,
Yeah.
That was
down the
it.
middle,
They
start
don't have to
coming
worry
forward.
about, that's right.
Yeah,
That's the only concern I was asked about.
Yeah.
And
Well, I can understand what
Yeah.
you're saying.
And just so everybody knows, something that we changed, I think it was prior to Dwayne, so this is important because they started out with like a 30-year smoothing to help payments and help other entities that are in their plans. Then it went to like 25, then 20. So we've chosen a 10-year smoothing, and we want we have asked for our plan to be funded in 10 years.
Mhm.
So that way, our money, when they tell us what our payments are more, so that we can get our plan funded
Yeah.
and not, Tim made a comment that we never know what our liability is gonna be. So we've chosen to get it funded quicker, to not have that liability keep growing.
But I do, that's a, yes.
Yeah, so, and then we've adopted that surplus fund as well, so I feel like
Actually, we're in pretty good shape.
we're moving in the right
Yeah.
direction.
We're only 2 years in on doing
Yeah.
this. 2 or 3.
3, I think.
Barring any more catastrophes, we're gonna
Right.
Yeah,
stabilize our
'cause-
budget.
Exactly.
The whole procedure will get stabilized in 10 years.
That's what
We should be in good shape.
that's what we've asked for, and that's what
Yeah,
That's our-
bluntly
Yeah.
said,
right.
so.
And we're paying for past. We're trying to
Right.
catch
Catch up,
that.
we're
Mhm.
playing
Yeah,
a
a
little
lot of
catch-up.
people didn't expect,
No.
people living longer
Mhm.
back then.
Especially if you're in the
Well,
power
that's true.
business.
Yeah, really.
These old guys.
I gotta make no money.
Okay, everybody's happy so far?
So there's a change that needs to be in,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah, we'll type it up officially.
Get together,
Yeah.
Dwayne, with you, and
all right.
then we can finalize it at our next meeting.
Sounds good.
That sounds good, okay. So that takes care of number 1, and we'll go to correspondence. Kim, do you have anything
Nope, not for
you
that,
want to talk to the board about, any correspondence at all?
not that subject, no.
Okay. That's it, staff reports.
I do have something.
Okay, go ahead, you be first,
I just want to let everyone know,
yeah?
and Dwayne, I haven't had time to speak with you yet about this either, so we got another MTF letter. I'm assuming you've probably seen it in your email, yesterday. So we have had 4 letters since January 11th of 19 stating that our MTF is going to be going down. So, MTF is so volatile with what's going on.
Oh, yeah,
So overall, within the 4, we had January of 19, February of 20, May of 20, and August of 20, August 27th of 20. It basically went down 6.04%.
what is that in dollars?
600,000 roughly.
Actually, for us, it's
That's
about
a minus?
4,
Pardon me?
about 400,000.
So that's a minus 400,000?
Yeah, it's really not as bad.
But they projected 475.
It's not that bad for us. So it's
See-
like 6710 and it's 6304. They give it to us in a fiscal year, but we do our, I'm gonna call it our checkbook budget.
Yeah.
We do that on calendar year, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not good, but it's not as bad as,
It's not as bad as I think other counties are getting, and I don't think it's as bad as we had projected in the beginning. Yep.
but nevertheless.
Earlier in the
Still a
year,
lot of
we
money.
discussed 475,000 because we adjusted our budget for that. Then
So-
I see Oakland was $9 million.
Theirs is huge.
Well, sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And Dwayne, if I remember correctly, you were planning to make up for that through labor cost reduction, or figuring that it was over budgeted, so you still feel
We-
comfortable with that?
I mean,
As of
we-
today?
As of today, I think we're good.
Okay.
Are we?
So, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
compared to the last few years, it's gotta be,
Well,
the labor cost,
Oh, yeah.
it's gotta
no, but
be.
our revenue is down.
The
Okay.
revenue would be down,
Yeah.
yes.
But I mean,
So-
we
so-
needed to cut that labor
Mhm.
cost big time.
right.
To pat the guys on the back, we have limited overtime. We worked 2 Fridays so far for the whole year. And with the days getting shorter, we kind of, if they need to work an hour or 2 over, I'm allowing it. Like,
Yeah,
depending
well,
on, but everything's managed, I feel like, accordingly. It's not free for all.
Mm-hmm.
And,
well, it's not, that's,
and
right.
then they're getting,
It was a
Terrible.
they're getting all this work done with the limited
Now, let me ask
And they
you,
know the situation.
let me
as
ask
well.
you a question. Do you think there's less overtime when we're on a 5-day week, 8-hour, 5-day week? Or is there a difference going with the 4 days?
The overtime.
Because on Fridays, we're usually stuck with something and it don't get done. If we was working that Friday at regular, do you think that it would help?
I would say no.
No? Okay.
I mean, it can, but from when I've kind of been around,
Yeah.
a 10-hour day, you get more done than an
You
8-hour
think-
day.
You think the 10-hour, 4
I
day,
agree
10
as
hours?
well.
From the
Well,
work.
Yeah, from the time you get everything situated here and get to where you're supposed to be,
Yeah.
it almost feels like it's time to
Well,
head back.
lunch.
Yeah.
When we was working here,
That's
after
my
lunch,
question, and that's
It's
all
true.
right.
A 10-hour day is more
you know,
efficient.
after
Wow.
lunch, you'd go 12:30, the 2 o'clock break, and that 2 o'clock break, you had to wrap up for the end of the day, because you had to be in by 3:30.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that extra hour, really, you get a lot more
So you
done.
think,
Oh,
well, that's,
Staying on that schedule.
And then we can monitor Friday, like we've been having Wednesday meetings now with the foreman and Dave. We have a Wednesday meeting that okay, what's the weather like on Friday? You know, now we're starting to see like, are we gonna lose a couple of days next week because of rain?
Yeah.
There's a very good chance,
So you're
okay?
watching that closely.
Weather Friday looks good, so, okay, let's work Friday to get done what we need to stay on target. But when we work Friday, what are we doing? And how many guys do we need? And we have like,
it's not a free-for-all,
it's
then.
these many guys and they better get this done to keep it by the end of the day. That's where we're at. If they get done by noon, then they go home. If it takes them till 4, whatever. So that's just kind of how we've been operating right now.
Okay,
So-
well, that was my question. I wondered
Good question, Dick.
how that
it
works.
is, it is.
You know.
Good reasons behind it.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
When I worked here, we had 410s for 2 years, and I'll tell you what, it was phenomenal. You got so much more done. We actually had more employees at that time, but it was, you got so much more done during the daytime.
Well, that's good. Do you think that would work year-round, or do you want to still go into winter?
Not the winter, because we're
The
gonna.
winter is different because of your snow plowing. It's a
Yeah.
different, a completely different
Okay,
operation than your
that's what I figured.
spring, summer.
Plus daylight, the
See.
daylight is so
Yeah.
different.
You're doing your 10 hours longer than what we did when we had it at our time, but, you know, I think you're really getting a good advantage of it.
Okay, that was my question, and it's answered, thank you.
Good.
What I wanted to know. Okay. Any reports, Kim, you gave your report.
Uh-huh.
Dwayne, do you want to, have you got anything that you want to report?
Just Dave's been working, he's out with a township supervisor right now doing a ride around Arthur Township. He's got Frost scheduled and Grant scheduled for either this week or next week. So I think he'll be up to 10 of the 16 done, ride arounds done. And he's been working with Eagle, taking care of some
Eagle.
DEQ.
DEQ.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Working on some soil erosion inspections and stuff like that. And then he's been working with, Mandy's been helping him out with that stuff as well, so.
How's your south end and north end foreman working out? They're working out pretty good.
Yes.
Bruce, he just decided he didn't want that job, or what?
Yeah.
He just didn't want it.
No.
There was no problem with him, he just didn't want the job?
No problem at
Oh,
all.
good, good.
Bruce he did great.
Yes, I know, he's a good boy. But,
Sometimes
yeah,
people have reasons and that's what it is. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
It's just not your thing.
No, he just decided, yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
The
no,
other
Greg
two-
and Brian have been doing well.
Are they doing good? Maintenance, the roads that I've been over in the past month or two, they're looking pretty good.
Gaining on them, gaining on them.
They are looking pretty good, actually.
I think we're
It's all over the
gaining,
county yesterday,
I
everything was
think-
good.
I think we get through this year and next year will be a lot different.
Well, yeah.
So,
Well, I
The
think
thing
so,
is,
too.
Thanks, Tom.
Dwayne, on construction, you know, there for a while, before you were here, I mean, it was just construction, and the roads weren't maintained, and our job is to maintain the roads.
There was no maintenance out there. I mean,
So,
it's
but
like,
there is
wow.
now,
Yeah.
you know, that's working, so I can see the difference, and the public,
The public will see it, the public is see it.
yeah.
And unfortunately, we're not as efficient as I still want. We have, like our boom mower, I think that thing's been on the road maybe 4 weeks of the whole year. Now the transmission is acting up.
I don't understand that, it's not very old. Well,
And
it
we-
doesn't
No
seem
kidding, you're
old.
having a
We have
problem?
grader issues, we
Yeah.
have, I mean, these are critical pieces of equipment that
It's older than you
affect,
think.
affect
It's
our
great.
maintenance efficiencies, so. I was just talking to DJ this morning before we came in here, and there's some things we need to have
You know,
discussions about going into next year.
some years ago, we used to have that, on the graders, we used to have that buyback,
We're doing that, that's,
and I think, well, are
didn't we
you?
approve that?
I don't know that it's been purchased or anything, but yes, we did.
DJ ordered it, it's ordered.
But that's the best way to
We're gonna
go.
do a 5-year buyback, it's already been ordered, should be here by December or January.
And then our graders are up to date, you know,
And we're trading in the old
yeah.
old grader.
It is old grader.
Mhm.
But anyway, if you're gonna stay with the buyback now, you
Yes,
think,
correct.
that's good, I'm glad to hear that.
Mhm.
That's the way it should be.
As far
That
as,
baby must be old because I've been retired for 16 years.
You're old. You quit picking on me. Okay,
It's just another day on the calendar.
let's move on. Dwayne, was there anything else?
Al's been, he's working with Reef Raleigh, finishing that up. He's been finishing the paperwork for all our chip seals,
He's been a busy boy too, hasn't he?
putting together projects for next year. By October 1st, we gotta have our federal money program, what projects we want to incorporate in that, start putting that all together.
Are you going to, on some of the bigger projects, like have a contractor do it?
The state work we always do,
Yeah, but anything local, or we're gonna,
Oh, how we discuss subcontracting, Dick, is that what you mean?
yeah,
No, I want to do an as-needed type contract for next year.
okay,
I think it's really beneficial.
okay, that's my question, yeah, all right.
Yep.
Very good. What else you got?
Everybody's doing really well, so.
Well, you're doing really well too, I think, Dwayne.
well, you got your.
Men-
He's not very old.
Physically, maybe not
There's a
mentally.
lot of difference.
Okay, let's move on to commissioner reports.
Before, I have
Pardon me?
one more thing to say, actually.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
normally silent.
I'm
What's
so
happening?
sorry.
I do want to bring up, because I was supposed to email it to everyone and I didn't. Please remember that our amazing manager does have in his contract and in his job description that the board would do one year evaluation.
Mhm.
And there are certain stipulations in his contract that you'll want to review. So
When is that?
When is your year?
That's in December.
No,
It's in
I was
December.
gonna say
November.
November?
Is it
Oh my
November?
gosh, that went by
So I
quick.
don't know when,
You start-
Gone by fast, ain't it?
November 28th.
Yeah, I got my holidays in there.
Yeah. So do you wanna send us a copy of what we should
Be looking at.
I
be
can-
looking at?
I can send you a copy of his,
Oh, we get to put Dwayne in the
job
hot seat.
description.
Again.
We
And
haven't done that.
I know.
Yeah,
Dwayne's been there a lot
I
this summer.
know. He's in his hot seat.
Jim, that was online, but it was in the minutes.
Dwayne's getting his.
yeah, I can send you a copy in email
Okay.
of
Yeah.
his job description and his employment agreement.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then,
I could probably find it some in my
yeah.
files,
And
but,
then
That'd be
everybody.
great.
Mhm.
Yes, get out.
yeah, cause Bill and Merle probably don't have, you guys don't have it, do you?
I read it online, I was reviewing
Okay.
minutes before I came on board just so I could be up to
Yeah.
date, and I remember reading the stuff on Dwayne.
Mhm.
I made a couple mental notes.
We need to bring Sarah in. Sarah's the one who needs to come in to get what you need.
Right.
It took her here before to.
Okay, so we'll just follow that,
So it would really just need to be done prior to.
Yep.
Mhm.
yeah,
By December 1st, anyway.
at least, yeah. Okay,
You see this one?
so that'll be done. Has we got anything else, Kim?
I do not.
Okay. Commissioner, do you have anything?
Couple things.
Sure.
Surrey Road, east of Grant, through the S curves there.
Yeah.
Shoulder gravel?
Yeah, and,
Oh, I
you know,
know.
it's a constant problem. I'm not
Mhm.
telling anybody something they don't know.
I just noticed it
But-
yesterday, Merle, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact. I was
and
on
I've
there.
seen people, and I've come close. I mean, if you get off of that edge,
It's-
my question is,
Uh-huh.
I'm no road expert, there's a lot of experts in here. What do we need to do so that it's not a continuous maintenance problem to
Mhm.
make that a long-term fix? And as you're thinking about that, also Grant Road, at the top of the hill near Oakland, as you're headed south on Grant, headed towards the stockyards, as you climb that hill, on the west side of the road,
Erosion.
it's the same scenario. It's just
Well,
as
that's
deep,
from-
if not deeper.
That's more from water, I think.
Well,
running
I think
down.
they both are.
The other one's more from,
People come
Few
off.
kids
low
down.
side of the
Yeah, they're going
curve
too
blows
fast.
that out,
Oh.
where the Grant Road one, that
Okay.
water can't get away from the shoulder, and so that's
Yeah, that's true.
the
I don't know. if
point
there's
of least
not-
resistance, and then that,
Yeah.
I saw that's horrible.
Is there any long-term, how do other counties?
Valley
do
gutter
it?
it.
You know, some kind of asphalt?
I think
gutter?
Surrey Road, probably the best fix would be a paved shoulder.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Grant Road,
Let the
I,
Amish get off the road too, because that's pretty hazardous through there. And
Yeah.
the Amish try to get off the road, but a
Yeah.
lot of times they can't because of it.
yep,
Because they're gonna break a wheel and cause another serious problem. So I would like to see at least something discussed or put on
Yeah, we
an
should.
inform an agenda discussion, not
Okay.
necessarily here, but
yep.
I'm sure there's other areas in the county besides
There's
Grant
lots of them,
Township,
yeah.
but
Grant Road, I've been looking at it's like a geo-pave type system where
mhm,
it would still be a gravel shoulder, but it's actually kind of reinforced underneath.
yeah,
That would, I think, prevent a washing out,
yeah.
but I'm still looking at that. But Surrey Road, I think, is simply probably need to look at paving that shoulder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't hurt to also keep in mind that there is a lot of Amish traffic there. They're not going away. It's gonna be a constant thing in our rest of our
Mhm.
lives. It's getting more and more, and it will allow them to safely get off the road, so you don't have all these people with a convoy coming, and then everybody gets antsy, everybody wants to
You're
pass.
passing our double yellow lines all the
And
time.
then you're coming up to the hill at Grant and Surrey, and people are passing on the double line, and I've been through there enough to know that it's a serious
So
issue.
do I.
So, yeah, no more. I don't have the 100 years experience that Dick does.
Yeah.
Back when he drove the horses.
Well, right, when he was Amish.
I used to ride my
So,
bicycle.
Uphill both ways.
Yes, I can do that.
Wooden wheels.
Yeah.
and then, another issue that, and I'm not pointing fingers or blaming anybody, but, and you call them county curbs where you run the asphalt up a little bit, like on the west side of Five Lakes, where they asphalted that, and then now they've got these makeshift asphalt water.
Spillways.
What do you, I'm not sure the term.
A valley gutter, probably what you're talking
Valley
about.
gutter,
Valley
that's what he's
gutter,
talking
okay.
about, yeah.
So, again, I travel this road every day, a few times a day, and I don't know if it's a new employee or a constant problem with that type of situation where they run the blade up on the top edge of that in the winter, and then it leaves an area that doesn't get scraped, not to mention it's causing damage to that valley gutter.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a training thing or
Yeah.
just an FYI, is that something we want to pursue in the future, continue doing that process, is there a better way? But it's starting to carve down that valley gutter on the west side of Five Lakes, on Deepwood specifically.
Mhm.
And then, the other thing I had was, how's the service ticket / people call in? We've been kind of fully ongoing with that for the last couple months.
Yep.
And is the feedback been good? Is it really getting the problems resolved in an expeditious manner?
I honestly think so.
Is it?
Okay.
I 100% believe that it is, because we had, a husband and a wife, they called together. And they called and, no one had taken care of their issue. So I said, well, let me open your ticket. I didn't see any comments anywhere, and I just put in a new date and then updated the notes that said second call, and then just re-forwarded it, and then the foreman saw it, and they're so busy out on
Which is great,
projects.
it's on file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
But
So
I
it seems to be
do,
working good for us.
yes,
Good.
but just please note that when there are emergencies,
Yeah,
those emergency tree calls, we don't put them on there because we literally immediately text the foreman. Because when a tree's down, they
Yeah.
need to get someone out ASAP, so.
something
still
like
got-
that, naturally.
You've got an
naturally.
electronic trail if you need to go back
Yes,
to
it's
it,
in our
though.
text,
Right.
yep.
Yeah,
And then,
Yep.
last but not least, Tim, not here, reminded me of it, and has nothing to do with it other than, are commissioners paid salary or by the meeting?
Salary. And then it's split.
you get
Donna
paid for
split
And then
township
your
meetings.
township meetings,
If you go to a
get
township meeting, you
paid.
get
No,
paid.
no, I
Separately.
understand that, this
Oh.
is specifically,
It's-
being
yeah,
paid for a
salary.
meeting you didn't attend, I guess is my point.
If someone's absent, it's salary anyways, so,
That's what I'm
yeah.
asking.
Yes,
Yeah.
salary.
For example,
Mhm.
I know townships, it's paid by the meeting, you don't show, you don't get paid.
That,
So,
mm-hmm,
and again, what in our bylaws, if you will, if we have them, I've never seen them, but what if we have a commissioner that all of a sudden just quits showing up? What is the recourse?
There's gotta be something.
That would be
Yeah.
There'd be
something.
county commissioners that have to take that up.
Yeah,
But
that'd be
is
something.
is
we'd
that
have
in
to-
place?
Yeah.
So that you don't run into a non-participating.
We've never seen it happen, so I don't know.
I would
Guess it'd be
imagine
new.
we would have to make contact with that person and just say, are you resigning? And then I would imagine that since we are in the position that we're in, maybe they would have to appoint someone through December.
It might be in our book, though, we might wanna.
That's a good
Look into
question,
that.
a very good question.
Unfortunately, as an elected official, once they're elected, it's by the people. So
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
stop showing, it's a recall situation.
Yeah,
There's not a
recall
lot you can do about it.
Right.
It's, once you're elected, you're elected.
Right.
There is things in the
I know,
road
that-
commission handbook
I don't
that the
believe
county
it.
commissioners can address.
I don't-
That kind of
Did you
stuff.
guys get a handbook yet?
No.
They will,
Until
they should anyway.
maybe we'll get ours.
I don't
I don't know
think,
on an elected, but they can address it, you can address it with the governor if it's a situation like
I
that.
think it's a
Just curious.
resignation or a recall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But,
Mhm.
I know that we've had a resignation in the
But
mail.
they'd probably be still
Yeah.
receiving their salary benefits in the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
Well,
we
you
had
have
one
a
person who's.
State representative right now that was suspended for 6 months and he received his pay the entire time he was
Uh-huh.
gone, and he still is, and he's not allowed to vote on nothing, so.
I know, that, yeah.
you know, But until that,
But we haven't
It all
had
takes
any.
Yeah,
some
I
time,
don't-
yeah.
I don't think
we have
that will
any,
be an issue.
yeah.
No, I don't think that's the issue right now.
Okay.
No,
I don't think
You
that's
just
the issue
never
with
know.
him, and I'm not implying that,
Yeah.
it just got me to thinking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
how that process
I
works.
wondered myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
know-
we,
I have no
so
idea
everyone is
how any of
salary,
it is.
Yeah.
just so everybody knows you are all salary.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, thank you, that's all I got.
I am good,
Are you?
yes.
Okay.
My phone's been quiet, nobody's showing up at the flower shop complaining, the guys are doing a good job.
That's amazing.
I know.
you answered my
It's been
question
great.
about our budget already, I had a question of how our budget was doing. I've been to Reading Township
Ready? Yeah.
and talked about the ride-around, they were really enthusiastic about that, and also the service request line. Everywhere I've mentioned that, everybody thinks it's a really good idea, because I explained that we can track it, and we can, track our response, and we can also track that thing if somebody tells us that I called 15
Oh, I
times
know.
and you didn't do
That's-
nothing, I always explain that to them.
Oh.
We can track that too, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that's all I got, Dick.
How many calls have we had over the years? Oh, I've called a dozen times,
Yeah.
well,
No,
no.
it's
Right.
Yeah.
I try to
Yeah,
explain
that's
both
good.
sides of that to them, and everybody's really been on board with that,
Good.
along with the ride-along thing, they
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
The Reading Township, I did receive a call from Sergeant Wood with the DNR last week. think it was last week. They've been having a lot of issues with people back in there.
On Monticello?
No, Temple.
Well, that's
What
the
area?
seasonal.
In Reading Township,
That's-
and the
Reading
seasonal section.
Township back in Temple.
But that's the Monticello are seasonal.
Yes,
Back-
yes it is, yes.
Seasonal.
Yeah.
So initially, they were talking about wanting to replace that bridge there for ATV access. And me and Al looked into that, and that's a complete bridge replacement. That, you're talking, a lot of money, $250,000.
For,
So that kind of went cold, but now Sergeant Wood,
Have money to put into it.
Sergeant Wood is saying people are taking Monticello back there, and they've began to the point where they're cutting trees down and setting up like permanent campgrounds, and there's been like,
I get the
Oh,
high
yeah?
banks.
there's, like, they can't police it, they don't have enough.
The way to get there.
So we're gonna take a look at it, Dave's gonna meet with him,
Is
Dave
he?
and Al,
Mhm.
and we don't wanna close the road, but we may partner somehow to kinda isolate the state land, so at least we can, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just, he brought it to my attention, so basically the bridge thing is like.
And we can't.
You know,
No.
years ago, I used to go in there with the old blue gooses, probably nobody
Right.
knows where that's at.
I do.
But
I
that
do.
used to go around all the way through and you could come back up, up into Temple.
Yeah, right, but
Yeah.
now you can't because of the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Used to
bridge.
be, yeah.
There used
I've been
to
through there
actually
several
be
times.
A state campground
Oh,
back
blue
there. one
goose.
time.
Yep,
Correct, yeah.
along the high
Back
banks
along the high
there.
banks, and the people always, you go back there, you find people camp back there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've
They've
been,
been there for a while, they look like they've been there a while, you know?
I was back there a month ago.
But that's nothing new,
My son on our
but it might be
side
getting
by side.
worse.
It sounds like it's getting worse, and they've been having a lot of issues.
Yeah. I wonder if that's where the lady.
Okay, Merle.
The question about. why
Yeah,
I'm
that's
doing
your
it
story.
Literally was what I was going, Karen.
Okay, let's get back
We
into
are
the
doing
business.
something with Monticello, but it's actually Enbridge, because they have to get back to their
Well,
gas line.
That's the one, she said the oil wells, they're gonna shut some wells down, and they wanna know if we were gonna do the work, and I said, I didn't think so. And it's-
Enbridge met with Al, and
Okay.
I think they're actually even using limestone, and they're gonna cut trees and improve our road to get to their wells. They've already met with Al about
Did
that.
they?
Cause once you get past that one old well, it really gets narrow.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I was back there not long ago.
I hate taking
We've
a
been back there.
$400,000
Okay,
grant
let's
down there.
keep it going here. Is there any other commissioner reports?
I'm good.
I have something yet before we go, and that's with this, 5-person board now. So, we had the 3-person board, and most of the state did at that time. We was rotating, like for the chair, it was on rotation. Now we have to have a vote. Now, how are you gonna do that? Are you going, I know that you will, as the secretary, you will open that meeting for that.
So you did vote before, too, it's just so you know.
We did,
Yeah.
we always did it just.
We
Yeah.
vote,
So you-
absolutely,
you
but we
voted
still,
the rotation, and you
Mhm.
still had to vote, someone had to
I
nominate,
know.
elect the whole 9. So you voted in rotation, first off.
that's how that worked, yeah.
Yes,
But
So we
how
still
would-
go about it the same way?
yep, you'll have to nominate a person and second and
Okay.
yays, nays.
Yeah, because it won't be a rotation, it won't be the next guy
I mean, it can be.
automatically, huh?
I mean, it can be if that's
So,
the direction you wanna
It,
go.
we have a board, and it's up to the board.
Right,
Yeah.
period.
Okay,
Whoever is nominated and whoever votes,
well, I didn't know whether you're gonna have secret ballots. or
Bill's
what.
getting the book out.
No, traditionally what he's saying is the
Yeah.
person up for election rotated into,
Yeah.
usually rotated into the chairmanship.
Right.
But
Yeah.
now we have 2 people up the same year, so we gotta change that
So how you gonna
procedure.
change, yeah,
Because you got 2 people up for election,
it is,
so that's the only difference.
yeah, I think the
Just
way
like the
we've
voting.
always done things, I don't know if that's how you wanna stick to it, or if you change it, it's up to you as a board. In my opinion, I don't know. I've never
Decide that
looked
in
into it.
January, right?
yeah, that'd be the
Always,
first.
always the first meeting in January is busy because you're electing your people, then you're setting your meetings. You, I think normally set something for Dwayne, something for the finance person, and I don't think there's anything else. I have a list to remind me every January what.
Yeah, well, I just wondered how you guys was gonna operate. See, I
That's
won't be a part of,
absolutely, yeah.
I won't be a part of that anyway.
Yeah, I wondered myself, you know, because you don't want to, as a new member, you don't want to be sitting here with 5 new people.
Right.
I mean, no matter, which we won't be, don't get me
No.
wrong, but
Yeah,
I want experienced people to, some of them.
Kinda run it.
Right, you know.
So that's how you're
Some,
gonna do it, I
you know.
just wondered.
well,
We'll
It won't-
elect who we want.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're
so-
electing them.
We won't rotate, if
And
we
you
don't
want
wanna
it.
rotate, we.
It's just
You might
right.
want
I don't think you're.
simple.
Don't start.
Just so you know,
it. That's what you
it
need
has
to do.
nothing to do with,
Go ahead.
this has nothing to do with me as your secretary. It is up to you as the board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
oh yeah, I know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You just wanna make, you wanted to make that clear before we went into.
I just wanted to know,
A meeting,
How-
yeah. Mhm.
like I say, I won't be a part of it, but I'm interested to know
Well,
how
you
you're gonna
gotta, you
handle
gotta
it.
come and
Yeah, you can,
give us
you
some
can,
I won't
comments
have
and,
a-
We
I
got a
won't-
chair,
you can be a part of it, so you can sit over there.
We're gonna have to look at your backside. see your front side.
Look how much fun you can have, Dick.
It'd be a lot of fun. Okay,
Skip the public comment when you retire.
well, thanks a lot.
Dick, you're in the hot seat big
Oh,
time
I
today.
know it, that's all right.
Wait till your last meeting.
I've been in the hot seat all my life. Okay. Miscellaneous, I guess we've covered everything. We'll adjourn the meeting. I
Make
need
a
a
motion,
vote.
we adjourn.
I'll second.
Meeting adjourned.
Back when you were 6'5" and 285 pounds, right?
Well, I was 6'2" when I started.
Oh, yeah, he's been telling this story about this 6'2".
Oh, no.
No, you